Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and we're doing a session of Follow, which is another game by Ben Robbins, author of Microscope and Kingdom, which are also things that I've played and recorded on the channel. And finally get a chance to try this out because it's one of the ones I haven't played. This is a kind of a more dedicated one-shot game that he has written. This session is part of Open Hearth Gaming, which is an online gaming community. You can find out more about that at openhearthgaming.com and check that out. And we have all the details about our community there, how you can join, how you can listen to the audio versions of a lot of our recorded sessions, and you can check out our podcast, which for the first four episodes has been me talking to community members, but we have some additional hosts coming up to vary it that I'm kind of excited about. So you can check all that out. So we are playing Follow, which is a one-shot game dedicated to playing out a quest. We build a quest, we build some characters, we set up some challenges. There is a slight mechanical resolution bit at the end of the challenges that involves making some picks, putting them in a bag. I have a work through for that on our Google Sheet to kind of get that played out. And we do essentially three challenges to the course of our quest. Uh, in those challenges are trials that we face along the path of the quest. They don't determine necessarily how the quest rolls out until we get to the very end. They instead are like the hurdles that we have to overcome, the stages on that journey. And it's like a lot of Ben Robbins games, it's kind of setup and then setting the particular challenge we're going to play out and then calling scenes. Everybody gets to call a scene, go around, and then we go to resolution on that. Uh, that's the basics of it. So today we're going to pick a quest. We're going to customize that, make some decisions about what makes it difficult. Then we'll make a main character and a secondary character, a minor character. Our main characters have a desire. This is something that they want from the quest. And they also have an interrelationship with one of the other characters that they want something from them that that person is not willing to give. So we'll come up with our characters, our character concepts, and then do introductions and kind of what we want from the quest at that point. And then once we've introduced, we'll figure out what those relationship ties are. Um, and each of the quests, of which there are many in the book, has examples of all these things and a list of potential challenges that can arise from that. Uh, Tone will vary depending on what kind of quest we want to do. There's a very real difference between sort of tragic zombie survival versus, Ocean's 11 style heist. So in some ways, we're going to be kind of making that choice a little bit based on what quest we want to lean into. Now, with that, we do have a layered set of safety tools on the safety tab for our keeper here. Oh, I'm going to bring Tad in. I tried to admit them, and then they vanished. That may indicate technical problems. I'll try again. Here we go. No, there we go. Hey, Tad, can you hear us? Okay. I can't hear you yet.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
Oh,
Okay.
hello.
Hey.
Uh,
Make sure you
Strange,
get
I can't
your
hear anything.
your audio set up.
Yeah.
Check one, two. Check one, two.
I had this the other day with another player. Usually I was back to the days of Google Hangouts when nothing would work for a very long time. We'll give you a minute here.
Ah, okay, I
You
figure it out.
you got it?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Uh so I'm putting a link in the chat the chat there to the keeper that we're using. Right now, I'm going through the safety tools. So the top level of safety tools we're using are lines, veils, and ask first. Lines being material that we just don't want in our discussion, we don't want in our play, anything like that. Veils are anything that, should it arise, get played out in the game, we refer to it off screen or we fade to black when it comes on. And ask first being anything that would be okay with, but we want to definitely have a check-in before we go into that. So that's sort of our baseline set of safety tools, is that lines and veils. As we have a chance here, can mark that out. The second level that we're using is we are using the X card, which is a reactive thing. We can say X card or do the gesture. X card we use to mark out material we find problematic, that we find objectionable, that we find wildly off tone. X card is a chance to have us kind of stop. The only question we might ask is like, how far back do we need to cut? When you X card something, you don't have to explain or defend your decision to X card it. You are welcome to do that, but you do not have to do that. The X card is also good if maybe we've started to head towards something we've got marked as a line or a veil, and we've kind of forgotten about it. It's a good chance for us to stop and recalibrate on that. The last thing is the open door. Open door meaning that should you need to step away for whatever reason, Amazon arrives or you feel well or whatnot, feel free to do that. No harm, no foul. It'd be great if you could tell us if you're going to be back, but that's not required. We will press on with that. So those are the tools that we're going to be using today. The classic, I know you've all played with the community before, so you all know the ones that we're using. We have a romance matrix on there. I appreciate people filling that out. I don't know how much this is going to play out. I don't know. I haven't played this before. One of the things I do want to say about this is I literally haven't played this before. I've read through the rules. I think I know how it goes, so I'm going to try to facilitate this, and we'll kind of be learning together as we go. So the first thing that we're going to start with is the question about what quest singular we wish to do here today. Now, in that folder that I shared with you before, there's a document that has all the quests from Follow. The main book kind of suggests 4 as good, like standard fallback ones that they suggest, and that is the colony, the dragon, the heist, and the rebellion. Very kind of generic ones. But I want to open it up to see if people have any strong feelings. Any of these particularly appeal to folks. Even saying like these 2 or 3 are interesting to me, and going around on that, and we'll kind of narrow ourselves in. So, Aaron, if I were to start with you, are there any of these that sing for you or stand out? It is a chunk of text.
I'm pretty open. I like the colony and uh uh the dragon, only insofar as it's like it's a very baseline, like everybody kind of understands the fantasy tropes and stuff, so we could see how the system engages with that or
That's
affects it.
okay. Will, what do you think? Any of those appeal to you, or some other ones?
The dragon, and uh, the raid or the superheroes from the rest of the book.
Okay.
Me and
Tad?
Aaron played a heist. Me and Aaron played a heist like last week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe close grounds.
Tad, what do you think?
Yeah, the dragon looks yeah, that's like a classic, or from things that are more out there. Yeah, superheroes seem interesting, or even like if we want something more out there, the gods seems really like that's But that's really out there, I guess, out of the things.
Let's for my sake of first one, let's go with the dragon. Like we've all mentioned it.
Yeah.
Let's go with that one. Um, and especially because this is the release week for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Ah,
So I am very much in that mindset right now. Sherry has the week off. She is downstairs right now, exploring the space. That's what we've been doing most of the week. So the first thing we're going to ask, we're going to uh, customize our quest together. So the first question is, do we think this beast is a dragon or some kind of other monster? And this is one of those cases where this customization thing, I was kind of opening it to the table, but I may point here. But anyone have thoughts, something that appeals to them as like, is it a classic dragon? Is it something bigger than a dragon? You know, it is a beast, a creature, a thing of some kind. I would like to suggest that whatever it is, I would like it to be huge. I mean, Godzilla, you know, maybe even bigger, kind of huge. I don't know what it is, but kind of that's what I would like to start with. Are folks okay with that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
yeah.
So it's huge, but what is it? Is it
Well, I think it's I guess, like maybe we're not in a fantasy world. Maybe it's like a space colony under threat from this kaiju-sized creature.
I like that. I like that shift. So when we say swords in the later part, we mean weapons,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so okay, huge space colony. We've got this creature. Are we talking like eldritch horror? Are we talking a an ancient automaton? Or what
I think
thoughts on that?
Yeah, I have an idea for like just like a space gigantic space squid that just eats everything and it's just eats like asteroids and stuff.
I like it. Aaron, you good with that?
Yeah.
So we've got a colony. We're have our characters in this colony there, and we'll modify our various character things to kind of fit with that. And we have this kaiju space squid that has eaten some things in the system already. So
Can
then,
I
yeah,
suggest that the next question is there magic in our world? And if yes, is it obvious or subtle? Can I just suggest that this space squid is like not obeying the laws of physics as we understand? It's kind of it's living in space, and so it can like come down onto the planet and threaten the colony or whatever. And like, you know, not 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 worrying about gravity and so on. Uh,
so do you think
pulling it
that
apart.
that's is this is the universe that way, or is it an anomaly that these things are now we're seeing this thing that can bend the laws of physics?
I like the idea of it being an anomaly. That like this is we're not.
Yeah.
Who know if the universe is like this? It's news to us.
Yeah.
Like so far it's not been, and yet now here it is attacking colony
Yeah.
Hearth one. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so we've got this thing that has come down. We don't know what it's about. I do like to think that maybe we have found something in our colony setup that suggests that either this monster has come before or was created in the past or something like there's some historical precedent or some evidence that we've seen of it.
Like yeah, like
Oh,
there's like geological traces of pieces of the planet being like nibbled out, or how to yeah, just
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, there's that
Maybe
weird
even
thing.
previous previous explorers going missing.
Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I like it. There's
Whatever
that.
saying bite marks on geological scale. Like
Yes.
it's a geological feature that's bite mark, basically.
Yeah. So we do know that there's something going on, and now we're starting to piece things together on that. Um, so if we look at our character keeper here, we're going to pick two things that make this quest difficult. Um, so we've got some of those that we can modify. Any one of those appeal to folks.
I like the idea of having of there being like a cult of space squid,
Okay.
if that's okay with everyone.
Does that sound good? There are people who have turned to the cult of this
Oh.
space squid.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
in-
Interesting.
okay.
They're yeah, okay.
So we've got some people in the colony that have in their maybe panic and fear, or maybe they've studied or dug too deep, and have been enlightened by the space squid.
Yeah, perhaps perhaps that's what's under the surface, but maybe it's more like Yeland Wutani is like this creature defies the laws of physics. It's an ancient
Right.
life, been here before. The value that it brings, like clearly it's not a case of destroying it. We need to study this. We need to see where there's more of it, like
Yeah.
and perhaps underneath the surface, that's like no, they've totally gone space crazy and whatever, right?
I like that, like a little bit like Ash in Alien, that this is a perfect creature. That we, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, or
Uh,
maybe you have like regular cultists who are actually worshiping it, and like people up in the hierarchy are like, yeah,
the,
no, we're actually,
the other enemy is capitalism. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. Um, and so what do we want then for the other thing that is going to make this difficult?
I think number 6 there makes sense
Yes,
to me. The beast is hard to corner. It can travel far and fast
I like that.
because being a space squid, um, it can obviously uh, maneuver somehow. It's not so easy for us to travel through space, right?
So
And
do you
that,
think it is
oh,
is it in system or is it on planet? Like, where do you think it is?
maybe our system is like surrounded by like an asteroid belt of like planetoids, so there's lots of like terrain, like maybe there are like out habitats out there in the great field, like we're all, we're not just in one place, we're in spread out across this field, and the great beast is sort of this is our kingdom, the belt
Oh,
basically,
Oh, I
and
like that.
oh, I
Uh,
see.
the
I
uh,
beast.
was thinking, yeah, okay.
how about like there are some terrestrial like areas, surface colony things, but like the majority of it are these space villages and space towns that are getting eaten up in the Belters
Yeah,
area. Okay. All right.
Nice.
I
It's like almost like Ceres, it's like a dwarf planet is like our kind of our home base, right? But
mhm.
then there's the rest of the asteroid belt around. Yeah.
I I dig it. So we've got that in mind. The next thing that we're going to do is each of us is going to create a main character and a minor character. We're going to do this together. Uh, and for your main character, basically, keep in mind that all of our characters want this quest to succeed. There's a reason we're on this quest, and we want it to succeed. And for that, you're going to figure out a name and kind of what you think the character's role slash concept is there. So there's some examples on that sheet, uh, uh, or you can draw your own. So I'll grab this first column.
I'd like to take survivor of an attack.
Okay.
Uh, hmm. I'll go with the first one. I think I'm a knight of the realm,
Okay.
which obviously has its own meaning in this setting, but
Uh,
some kind of space sheriff.
Okay. Space Sheriff versus Space Marine. I like that. Uh, Let me see here. Tab, what are you thinking about?
Ah, well, I'm thinking of mm, you know what? If we have a knight or something like that, I'm thinking like, maybe you want a servant or retainer who's like kind of have his own thing going on, maybe a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So write that in, come up with a few details for that character, give a name and pronouns, and kind of figure out what you want for the quest. I think I'm going to take the treasure hunter, who's along for the ride for some additional reasons.
Okay. I'm
I've been writing these in my notes rather than onto the actual character keeper.
oh,
Okay.
that's fine. So I'm I think captain of the Gleaming Sword spaceship, space space cutter.
I dig it. What is it that you want from, what's your name and what do you want from the quest?
Let me see. Uh, Need a good. Huh.
Need to get a good solid heroic name there.
Yeah.
Oop.
So I'll do mine while you're choosing your name. I'll go through. So Tissa Vance, she, her. I took the treasure hunter. I think that she's been a scavenger explorer on the planet, kind of a freelancer, and every time she's gotten something good, the corporation has yanked it out from under her, and so she really resents. the corporation. She wants the colony to survive and wants to defeat this thing, but she also hopes, and what she wants from the quest is that there's certainly by defeating this, we're going to learn something, or we're going to get some materials, or we're going to get some new understandings that we can use to get filthy rich.
Oh yeah,
That is what she wants from this. Um, Aaron,
definitely.
let's have you tell us about your character there.
Okay, let's see. What do I want? Let's see. I think protection. We'll just keep it simple. Keep my homeland safe. So it's my job.
I like it. And your
And
character's name?
uh, Alberto Mata.
Okay. Um, uh, so just want to keep the colony safe, a true hero in all the senses of the word. And then Will.
Rosen, Captain Rosen, I suppose I should call him. Survivor of an attack. The cargo ship Smaug was torn to pieces. The escape pods were swallowed up. Rosen had actually, ordered the crew to abandon ship, attempted to ram the Smaug down its throat with the self-destruct enabled, but it managed taking the escape pods and his crew with it, leaving him to, desperately disable the nuclear reactor before, or whatever it is, before, and drift in space. So yeah, and he's what he wants from Quest is to fulfill his promise that he'd kill this thing.
Okay. I dig it. And then Tad.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm Wayne Smith, who is like, a lowly engineer on the Gleaming Sword, no one important, and kind of silent person. And what I want here is redemption, because before I was Wayne Smith, I was actually high-ranking scientist for one of the corporations that kind of caused some incident with the squid that make it seek the human ships and stuff.
I
Wow,
dig
that's
it.
awesome.
I dig it. So I'm going to quickly check in on safety, and before I go to the what we want, and I'll talk about what that is. Just to keep a heads up, we have veils on harm to pets or domestic animals. So the dog lives in whatever we do. We have hard lines on sexual assault, torture by PCs, and domestic violence, and we have a veil on sexual content. So the next thing is we're going to talk about, and this is something that's kind of negotiated, uh, what we want from a particular character. And I've basically put it so that it's the character to your right on that for figuring out what that is. Um, and if it's okay with you, Aaron, I think Tissa Vance's want is, I think it's very much look at me, senpai. Like I think she wants Alberto to see that look at her lovingly and romantically, and desires that. Does that feel like a reasonable thing there?
Okay. Yes. And
Uh,
you're not getting it because
yeah.
obviously you are a scoundrel.
Okay. My past and my reputation, me as being, unreliable,
Oh yeah.
out for myself, and okay, I dig
I'm
that.
sure perhaps I've even uh pursued you or arrested you or something at some point, due to your treasure hunting ways.
I like it. That works for me.
You didn't you didn't pursue her in a way she wants.
Not
Yeah,
not
not in the way I
romantically, but
wanted
legally. Yeah.
legally. Uh, Excellent. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
uh, Mata, what do you want to have as what you want from Rosen that they aren't going to give to you?
Oh yeah, let's see. Okay, Rosen, right, the my rival captain. Uh, cargo ship. Let's see. Hmm. Interesting.
There's some
Um,
interesting choices there.
yeah. Okay. Maybe this is too too obscure, but what I'm thinking maybe I want forgiveness because for my former cowardice, because you actually faced the beast. You tried to face it head on already. Um, and I uh I think I've run from it. When it came after my ship, I just ran.
Mm.
And so um so now that we're working together, it's like, I have to live up to your example, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps this is, obviously puts a slightly better spin on it, but maybe it was like, you know, pull back and defend the colony rather than, so you didn't just, because now you're going after it, right? So like, you're either a coward who has gone like, oh shit, I can't, people now know I'm a coward, I've got to go after it, or you were
Right.
like, a centrist, and you were like, no, 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 this is more important than protecting people, and that's what led to me getting swallowed up with the other.
Yes. Oh yeah, because you're running cargo. So I think I uh protected the planet, right? Like I just hung around the planet. I'm like, no, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna, defend the colony first and foremost and forget about all these, asteroid miners and whatever. Until
I
it's
lived back into the colony, with a
yeah.
kind of ship, and like grabbed you and said, their blood's
Yeah.
on your hands, god damn it.
I know we can kill it.
Yeah, it's scared. That means we can kill it. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Cool.
And then Captain Rosen, what do you want from Doe Smith?
I want from Doe Smith. Um, I want them to tell us how to kill it. Like they've got the answer. They know where. Like they worked for the corporation. They were a great scientist. We can't trust the corporation to do what's right here. I want Doe Smith to stop. You know, pretending that they're not this. They haven't got the tools to tell us these things. To step up and provide us with the power to end this once and for all. I think. Does that work?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So you know my secret, okay?
Yes. Yeah, I think maybe I recognize you from a job I did for the
Uh,
corp once upon a time or something like that.
yeah.
Nice.
Huh.
You know what? My first mate, who was my wife, also used to be a scientist on the with the
Oh,
corp.
Huh.
She had a picture of the
Oh.
two, you know, uh, on some research project or whatever, right? Like celebrating.
Yeah.
I dig it. And then Doe, what is it you want from my character?
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, I think that what I want is I want you to let me protect you from, well, various consequences of you know, your lifestyle and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of see, I guess, your like young enthusiasm and idealism as something that has to be protected from, well, all the shit in the world.
And I think I see you as a drone, maybe as
Yeah.
a corporate person, just a worker person, and does that seem like a reasonable reason why I don't listen to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Uh, Excellent. Uh, so that's our major character. The next thing we're do is we're going to come up with a minor character. All that we need with the minor character is a concept. The best way to do this is kind of uh, a connected to one of the other characters. So uh, think about that. So I'll give you an example and I'll let people think about their own. My character is Abishan, and I think he's an old grizzled vet. But more importantly, I think he's Captain Rosen's former father-in-law. I think that he bears at least some, maybe he's not saying it, but maybe some grudge against Captain Rosen for the loss of his daughter. Does that seem okay to you?
He's very reasonable. To be perfectly honest, he's right. You know,
Yes.
absolutely right.
Nay.
He's a
And
little bit of the, I don't know, the Splinter Wars or something. You
oh,
know, like something generic. Just
yeah,
um,
I like the Splinter Wars. Yeah, better of the Splinter Wars. Captain Rosen's former father-in-law. That kind of uh like from Rogue One, a little bit replacement leg kind of a grizzled vet uh and keeping an eye on you. Um Anyone else have a minor character? We'll kind of do this in a little bit as people come up with what you would like.
uh, yeah. I think I need to, let's say, Saffron, who is ability. Would we sort of map an ability? I think planetary council, colony council member, counselor,
Oh,
um, who's here to uh, represent the interests of the colony, and make sure that I think that she agreed with Captain Marta's original plan of protecting the colony at all costs, and yet we're out here hunting this beast when it could strike at any moment. It's fast. We know it's faster than our ships. It could be right back at the colony right now, destroying it while we're hours away, and we're leaving it defenseless. I think she's like the warrior, sort of naysayer kind of type of character.
awesome. Uh, uh, Aaron, Tad, what do you want to have as your minor character?
Um,
Hmm.
let's see. Do you think hang on. The let's see what would be interesting. Does Doe Smith have uh oh well, my first idea is maybe Doe Smith has a daughter on the colony as well,
Sure.
and that uh
Has
his
gotten roped into this quest.
yeah, maybe. And
Go away.
Ooh, stowaway.
oh yeah. Yeah, so you're you realize the danger you've put her in, you
Yeah.
know, which is part of why you want the redemption, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
so I'll come up with a name.
Okay. Um,
And
and Tad, what would you like for your minor character?
hmm. Oh, I think I have something.
Sure.
So, uh, there's a I don't know, it's what sort of treasures Tisa like hunts for? Like
Essentially,
archaeological or
old civilization materials
yeah,
from the
yeah,
past, lost knowledge,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think there's like an officer of some sort of government bureau of history preservation or something, who's like your inspector Javert, who's like always
Okay.
pursuing you in relation of everything.
Absolutely. I love it. That
Yeah,
has come along to make sure that I'm not stealing anything from the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
quest.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Like he even calls they call him inspector, but he's like, yeah, well, yeah,
Inquisitor.
yeah.
All right. So we've got things set up. We're going to take our break now. We're going to take to the hour. We're going to come back and we're going to choose one of these challenges to do to work through. Tad, I'm going to put you in the hot seat to pick our first challenge. There are some examples there, and we'll talk about what exactly that means when we get back. And essentially, these are steps and stages on the course towards completing this quest. So, take to the hour, and then we'll come back.
Cool. Just before we go, Aaron, are you taking those pictures off the internet or are you taking them from your computer?
From my computer.
Ah, fair enough then. So then I won't explain. Then you do know how to do insert image into cell, and this makes perfect
Yeah. Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
All right. So we do three challenges, and let me tell you how this is going to work, and then we'll kind of play that out. Uh, the lead player chooses the challenge, says what the challenge is, why it's difficult, and why we need to do it. Like, what's the purpose of it? We don't say anything about how we're going to solve it, but we're going to play that out in the scenes. Uh, well, then the person who set that up will choose who the first player is going to be. We'll kind of set the pace. Like, is this a scene that's a challenge that's going to take a week or a year or what? We'll kind of figure that out, and then we'll go around and call scenes uh, with main characters for that particular player. Other people can play secondary. We'll figure out what the scenes are going to look like, and we just kind of play that and we do that around so that each of us gets a chance to call a scene. So, Tad, what do you want as the first challenge that we're going to
Yeah.
be taking on?
I think that before we even embark on this space squid slaying mission, we have to get a weapon that can slay it.
Okay. And like what is the weapon? Where is it?
Oh, well, yeah, I think it's like a secret super, something that's not available on a public market. It's something that is guarded by a corporation as like a secret prototype
Okay, so secret
that is
hidden.
like, because yeah, it's not like it's some sort of beam weapon that fires tachyon particles or something that we think can harm it.
Okay.
Some sort of
I dig that. So we get to get
not a
this.
classical torpedo or whatever. Yeah.
So do you imagine that the challenge that we're going to be playing out is something that like we're going to see like it happening over the course of a day, like we do the operation of it, or are we going to see the setup in like a week's time or something longer? What do you imagine there?
Yeah, I would say week's time probably.
Okay. So that kind of gives us a kind of sense of the pacing that we're looking at. And what main character would you like to have start choose that person as the first player?
You know what? We're talking about well, let's start from Captain Rosen, who may know a few things about how to slay it.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Well, so I want to point out Captain Rosen's want from Doe Smith is to figure out how to kill the beast. So,
oh, sorry.
do we want to like we can dive into that, and maybe it's like he's trying to convince Doe, to
okay.
get us access to this corporate thing, or we want to backtrack and redo that want.
It may be because the challenge is separate to Doe Smith's character, right? Like it's a meta challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
If perhaps one of the difficulties is that you have to access this facility or whatever, right? Like you need to have your DNA, your corporate DNA chip or whatever, right? Like registered. And Doe Smith is in hiding from the corporation, right? So like, I want Doe Smith to, forget about hiding from the corporation and bring down this monster. God damn it! There's bigger things and more things to be scared of than the corporation. I've seen them.
Let's stop. I think it's fair, Captain Rosen. The scene is about your character, and ideally you have a total of 2 or 3 characters in there. Who else do you want in this scene? And like set that up and where are we at here?
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that
a
workable thing with given what was established, and I think we do. Yeah, so go with that for sure.
So the scene is about getting the weapon that can slay it. Do we want it to be
all of these scenes will be about that, and we can go forward or back in time as we need to.
How many scenes?
Each of us is going to call one scene in this, and then we'll figure out
Cool.
were we able to do it based on like kind of what we've seen the pieces here.
So there'll be 4 scenes where we're addressing this specific challenge of getting a weapon.
Exactly. And each one will have have our main character in it. So each of us will have one of those slices. So
then I want Lucky Smith and Doe Smith in this scene.
Okay.
Cool.
And we could also have I don't know. Nobody else jumps out anymore.
I think 3 people is great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we know who plays Doe. Who's gonna? So that's Aaron playing Lucky then, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, we found the stowaway on board the ship. Maybe it's even when we find her.
Is this on the Gleaming Sword?
On the Gleaming Sword, yeah.
Maybe it's like oh, okay, yeah. So we're like traveling somewhere. Maybe we're already traveling to the corporation headquarters, like their station.
I think at the moment we're traveling looking for the beast because Doe's not come forward with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And maybe
All right.
this is shortly after Lucky's been, and this is actually shortly after Lucky's been discovered
Okay,
and
great.
brought to her dad's court. And Rosen's going to, Smith, Smith, I know you're in there.
Yes, I am.
Open the door, Smith. We need to talk.
I like slowly walk to the door and open it. And like I don't let you in. I'm just like, get open so I can see you. What do you want?
Matt is taking this ship out to kill that thing, but we both know that they can't do it. Won't be able to do it with whatever they've got on board. And we both know that you know what can kill it. You know what the corporation's got. I know
I
where
have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't give me that. I know where you came from, Smith. I look over, probably see like Lucky's face peering over her father's shoulder, and I go, "Does she know?
She's going, no. Ah.
Does she know? She know what? She know what you're hiding still. She know what you're running from."
Is this going to be the whole scene?
I mean, the whole scene. No, I mean this is going to be my scene, right? And then your scene could be wherever, right? And then it's everybody else.
No. That was incorrect. Like, is this going to be the? Yeah, it is what she says. Like, are you making this a scene or like?
Oh, I see. Sorry, no, I got
sorry. No. Yeah, I understand now that it made sense. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
are you making a scene?
Maybe we play it the other way. So maybe you're kind of bringing Lucky in as the thing. So I think Lucky is going to be like sort of innocent. It's like she'll come up and give Doe a hug and be like, it's okay, Mom. We'll figure another way to kill it, right?
Fine, come in.
Captain Mata is gonna blow it out of the sky, right?
No, fine, come in, both of you. And I will let you in and then carefully lock the door behind you and see if no one else is listening.
Listen, there's no time for your secrets anymore, Smith. There's no time for any of this. We're heading. That thing could pop up. It could be taking out, ships all across the kingdom. It could be heading. The councillor could be right. Saffron could be right. It could be heading straight from. What would we do? The gleaming sword. Yeah, it's the biggest ship that we've got. The best equipped. But I had those guns on the Smaug, and it didn't do nothing. It didn't do anything. Only thing that drove it off was setting the self-destruct. And I think you've got reasons you don't want to set the self-destruct on this ship. And I look down at Lucky.
Yeah, fine. I may know what can hurt it and maybe even kill it. But there's no way we're getting that.
There's nowhere we're getting this. It's still good. If you escape the corporation the way I think you escaped the corporation, your gene code's still going to work. We're going to be able to take that thing right out from underneath them.
Well, you're asking me to sign a death warrant for myself, aren't you?
Well, right now you're on a suicide mission, so I don't see the difference. listen, if you're not going to do it for me, for the crew, for the colony, do it for your daughter, God damn it.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
doing
happy to.
everything for my. She's not
Yeah.
supposed to. I mean, fine, but you have to promise me that if anything happens to me, we'll take care of her.
Well, wait a minute. You need the gene print. What if what if Mama doesn't give it to you? Then she can say, she didn't help at all. And so the corporation won't come after her, right? If you take it from me, right, I've got half of her genes. It'll still probably work and keep Mama safe at the same time.
Rosen kneels down and puts a hand on, good to see that there's one brave person in this family, kid, but...
Darling, you stay out of this. Fine, I will do whatever you want.
Got a good kid there, Smith. Don't worry. I'll look after her. As he steps out into the corridor, he'll, open up his jacket and pull out the space Polaroid of his first mate and his crew. And he says, even though I can't take care of anything else.
Nice. Does that feel like scene?
Yeah.
Okay. So then play passes clockwise. We'll work our way around. So Doe Smith will call a scene with yourself and some other people, like to frame up another part of this operation.
Yes.
And I do want to say one thing. So one of the things here in these scenes, you get to kind of say things that happen.
Yeah. So
things that occur. As other players, you always have the option if somebody says, well, we're able to make it through this, you're able to say, I thought that was too easy. Here's a complication or here's a consequence that has addition. We always get to kind of layer those things, and if we want to make it worse. So Doe Smith.
Yeah. I think it's not time for a heist yet. So, or however else we are getting it. So, let's go to the planning of the heist, I guess. Just standing over, like, I guess I have to take Rosen into this again. Also, Tisa, who is skilled thief, sorry, treasure hunter. Apologies, obviously, but same skill set.
There is a very
similar skill set,
different set of skills involved in those two things. But point taken. So are we like over a map, like one of those hollow table kind of things?
Yeah.
Can I suggest Captain Marta over?
Yeah. Also, probably, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I suggest maybe Councillor Saffron over Captain Rosen. Captain Rosen's off brooding somewhere and sharpening harpoon, whatever, right? But yeah, Councillor Saffron, has to be involved because this is a serious breach of corporate colony relationships.
Yes.
So, sorry, what's the meeting over?
We're looking at the plans for the complex, I think, right now to figure out like how we're getting in.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm thinking of this weapon as maybe like in the book Revelation Space, right? Like the ultras, like the interplanetary, like awful people who have like loads of high-tech weaponry. Like they have weapons that are like almost like ships, themselves. Like, but they like slave to the ship that's controlling them. So they sort of like, we wouldn't have to like grab a piece of kit and fit it to the ship. It would be like a thing that we'd steal, and it would like
Yeah.
It's like
So
self-propelled.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
Here is I think I say here is the problem. Like you can use Doe's gene code to get us access to move this thing as much as you want. But once we attach it to this ship, to the gleaming sword, that is a big beacon to the corporations that, I mean, you can't hide that. We're going to have to be real scarce then. Uh, you know, it's not the taking
Yeah,
of it that's the problem. It's the keeping the heat down later.
that's true.
It's something I'm fairly familiar with for some reason.
Yes, it is. Just say that in your file, Miss Vance. Of course, if we really want to strain corporate colonial relationships so far, there is precedent for this in the charter. The colony can demand any resource in a time of great emergency from the colony, from the corporation. Of course, only if we know it exists. And the corporation's been keeping this secret from us, which I will be bringing up in the next annual meeting.
Good luck. Good luck getting it. I mean, it is in the colony charter, but it doesn't have a worth of ink it's written with. If I have to be honest.
Yeah. Well, look, political questions aside, that's obviously your department. But my question is, how are we going to land or dock with the station? And you know, they're not going to give us. I mean, I can pull my legal rank here and demand to be let in, but there's no guarantee they'll grant access.
Captain Rosen, I don't think we go to the station. I think we get there and we make the station come to us and the weapon come to us. I think we've got to heist it there and bring it out. It is a mobile, transportable weapon. It's huge. The real question is, can we get in and not get caught?
Mhm.
Well, I suppose I could demand a spot inspection of the facility. The powers haven't been used in quite some time, but provide a distraction of some kind. If we're committed to this course of action, Captain, she stares daggers at Matter. Like,
Well, I don't like it, but you know,
Ah.
if we have to, we can send 2 squads of officers and yeah, board the station and while they're providing the distraction, then Vance here, I suppose, can obtain the weapon.
I'm sure we have nothing to worry about. The corporation would never harm a colony official.
I like that you believe that. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems well. If Tissa and Tiger win, we can get there and try to fly it off. And then it's up to you, I point to Saffron, like to make sure they don't follow us at some point.
Yeah,
Maybe you could.
They are gonna come down hard on the colony.
Yeah.
In response.
I think a space squid is harder than the corporations. Yeah, so like it's lesser of two evils.
Indeed. And the corporation to have been withholding this artifact in the colony's time of need, well, quite inappropriate. There'll be several inquiries into this after we are finished.
Awesome.
Can we try to go to the space squid? Maybe they're easier to deal with in the end. No. No.
Does that feel like scene?
Yeah.
I think I would like to for Tissa's scene, like that moment where we're on there's a shuttle that's going over with Saffron and her team to do that spot inspection. She's called them ahead of time. Modest off somewhere, hiding behind some asteroids out of sight. And on the other shuttle, it's Doe and I and a couple of, people in stolen uniforms. And I think there's that like bead of sweat as we're flying in, and I will turn to Doe and say, so I may have left a detail out of our planning.
Yes.
And I just want to tell you about it because it might come up later.
Why do I feel I'm gonna hate it?
So I ran some of the numbers on all of this and the timings, and I still honestly believe we're going to be able to get out of here with
Yes.
the object in question.
But
But I don't think that Counselor Saffron is going to be able to get out. I think we're going to have to cut her loose. She's in the other area. I think we need to like let that slide for the better good. I just want to make sure that you're
well,
on the same page as me.
if that's necessary for us to get out, I mean, I would hate if anything happened to us.
I would hate if anything happened to me as well.
Good, good. I
All
mean,
right.
that's decisions. I'm not sure if the decision is up to us, since
Hell, we're out of
it's
communication with the rest of the team. So quite honestly, the decision is up to you and me. I just want to make sure that A, you're on board with this, and B, that we have our story straight when we get back.
yeah, it's just some big vague. She's gonna be fine. She has like a diplomatic immunity, doesn't she?
Diplomatic immunity is not going to stop a blaster.
No, it doesn't.
You know what the corps do to people.
Yeah,
You know that
very well.
intimately, from what I understand.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that, but let us be prepared for that situation.
Of course.
And I'm gonna call scene there.
Yeah.
Can
yeah.
Oh, please.
I have this vision
Like
of
yeah.
Inspector Gorodinov, maybe just in the background as you two are entering through the side door, right?
Yeah.
We see in the background Saffron and her officers, right, confronted by Inspector Gorodinov, as he's like physically stopping, like holding her at gunpoint and saying,
Oh,
the
uh,
the corporation, uh, will not allow this intrusion onto sovereign territory.
Excellent. I love that complication. And do we,
Yeah.
especially if you're thinking that then somehow Grodnov this is where Grodnov gets roped into the quest somehow at this point.
That's what I'm
Um,
thinking.
I love
That's what
it.
I'm
I
thinking.
love it.
Because I think he's whether above board or not, he's on corporate payroll as well, right?
Okay. Um, uh,
And maybe that's where I'll take up my scene
okay. Uh,
because
so it needs to be with your main character, at least
yeah,
to start. So what do you want for this scene?
yeah. So it's Mata, the Gleaming Sword. Um, we've got the weapon, right? And we're transporting it away from the station and being pursued by Gorodnov and the corporate security forces um, in hot pursuit. So I think it's uh, maybe we'll have Captain Rosen. Um, well, let's see. Okay, Tissa's on the Tissa and Do are on the weapon.
Brought the weapon over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so uh, they're on that, and then it's Mata is piloting the Gleaming Sword in this chase. Where is Captain Rosen? Is he helping on that ship or this ship? What do you think?
Wherever's more interesting, you know.
I love him up there, uh, potentially arguing with Mata
Oh yeah, I
on the
love that.
bridge.
I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, so it's so it's Mata and Rosen, and
And I guess I can call you at some time as Inspector Gorodinov.
we are
Like,
absolutely on
yeah,
comms, like
yeah.
shouting to each other, right, as we're like maneuvering away, and we're booking it for the nearest asteroid, and or we could do uh uh yeah, I don't know, some kind of space terrain, to help cover our retreat. Um,
The debris field of the Splinter Wars,
Hmm.
yes, exactly.
filled with wrecks of the various ships. Yeah,
Right. So how far are we? What does it cost us, right, to get away with this thing?
Yeah. So what you do is set up the scene. We shouldn't close out like what actually happens there, but like I want to see we're going to talk about that in a minute. But like, what's the scene here that we're going to see towards this?
Um, the I think it's just a moment of teamwork, right? Slash arguing amongst the team of how best to go through the chase, right? Get away from the bad guys, the corporation.
listen, man.
So Mata is like at the controls, right? He's kicked his pilot off the controls. So he's taking it in hand, and yeah, and Captain Rosen is like right there, maybe looking at the scanners, right? Okay, if we can just get to the debris field, we can lose him.
Not with you flying like that. Realize you're leaving a trail a kilometer wide behind you. You should be matching the gamma signatures of those wrecks.
You want me to reduce thrust in the middle of a chase here? We got a hard burn to get to the debris field, and then we hide.
No
Strap
wonder.
in, goddammit, and
No
I'll
No wonder, Max.
fire
No wonder,
fire
Max.
retro thrusters and
Yeah.
turn us into a spin, and like everything jumbles up in the cockpit.
As he grips
I repeat, please surrender until I count to 5. If you don't, I will fire with all my power to your ship. 5,
Frozen
Tissa,
accelerates.
come in. Brake left, brake
3,
left, now.
2. Last
So
chance to surrender.
brace for evasive maneuvers. And we just see
Wow.
all the different thrusters firing on the ship at once, and we're like, basically Mata is making a mess of it, right? Trying to avoid the fire coming in.
Wait, did I hear you talking to Tissa Vance? Is she part of this?
Sorry, wrong number.
Fire
Gorodonov, stand
everything,
down.
even
Gorodonov,
what you
what are you
don't
what are you
have.
doing? What are you doing in corporate with the corporate security? Stand down, goddammit. This is Mata of the Gleaming Sword. Stand down.
Well, I have been witness to atrocious theft that you just conducted. Therefore, I kindly offered my services to the corporation.
You want to hunt God enough? Then why don't you join us? You can have Vance when we're done with her, I'm sure, but there's something bigger and nastier out there, and it's going to steal more than corporate property. It's going to steal the whole goddamn human race. Be a man rather than part of the machine for once in your goddamn career, God enough.
All right, so how is Tissa Vance handling the chase here? You're muted, by the way.
I think Tissa is on that other ship, sitting there with Smith, listening to this, but has no comms and is just kind of like, I don't like where this is going. I think that's the sort of the cutaway to her.
As it goes, you can have her when we're done with it, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you hear like weird shouting and shooting from the other side. There's no picture, so it makes no little sense. It's just like kind of, and then this is Inspector Gordonov. I have taken a possession of this ship by a government decree, Article 325, and I have dealt with uncooperative personnel.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
What are we even hunting?
I'll say okay. Maybe I'll say Mata will say Vance, can you hear me? Hang in there, Vance.
I have no comms. Right on there. I think we're all good.
All right. Oh, okay. And Mata turns to Rosen, right? It says like it says we got to go save her. What do we do? I mean, the weapon. We've got to save the weapon. What do we do?
I've got an idea. And then should we
Yeah,
cut?
I like
Yeah,
cutting
cut
that
to
there.
yeah.
So that kind of is the frames. We don't know exactly how this has wrapped up. We don't see quite the ending of this, but we've got all the pieces here. So what we're going to do is all of us at the same time are going to make two decisions. We're going to do the first one, and then we're going to do the second one. So if you'll if you'll scroll down to row 15 under your character, there's a choice we're going to make. And basically the question is, if your main character is unhappy about the path the Fellowship has taken, you're going to hold one red stone. If your main character actually wants the quest to fail, you're going to hold two red stones. Otherwise, you're going to hold no stones. And if you click on that pick simultaneously, you'll see that I've got 2, 1, and Zippo, 0 there. So if everybody on 3 could reveal that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 2 red stones. So I'm going to put that on the stones page now. And now there is a second question that we do. This is so on. As a player, do you think the Fellowship did what was necessary to succeed at the challenge? Hold a white if yes, hold a red if no. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 white,
Oh, I even
4 white. Yes, yes. Okay, and now I'm going to generate 2 random numbers. So we end up with a 2 and a 4. So we have 1 red and 1 white. So we lose 1 character, but win the challenge. So who do we think we lose? Main character or minor character? What do you think happens here? And I think this is kind of a group decision on this.
I think
uh,
well, the
sorry.
counselors is definitely out.
Yeah, that'd be my bet. Is the counselor? I
Yeah.
know not had much, but I think the naivety of believing that that their position made them untouchable is
Yeah.
perhaps put to the test as
Yeah.
perhaps discovers that the corporation's
Yeah.
interest in the beast is
Yeah.
perhaps a little more than scientific.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Get a
Yeah.
flash of that cult that we described.
Yes,
Right.
entirely.
Yeah. Officially she accidentally stumbled out of airlock. It happens.
Uh, so excellent. Now, Will, Captain Rosen, you may come up with another minor character to put in her place. We always get to replace minor or major characters. Do that. Let's go on. That's our first of the 3 challenges. We're going to go to the second one. And Aaron, uh, take a look at the challenges. What do you think our second challenge is?
I seem to have lost the page. What pages are we on here?
We're on
18.
page 18 of that PDF.
18. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. Oh. We've got to protect a village from the beast.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it comes for us, and then maybe, Act 3 is we're able to go
We'll
do it.
we'll see. Uh, so let me put a plus here. So you get to say like what is making this particularly dangerous? Like what's the we have to protect the settlement. What do you think the kind of the frame up is? And then I'll let you point to who you want to start out.
Yeah. Okay. I think um, the we get a call, a distress call from one of the small, asteroid mining settlements, and kind of far out there because these the squid has shown up, and it's like eating a path through the asteroids. And they're like directly in the path of the rampaging beast. So it starts off as just a little twinkling in the blackness, and then fills up a larger and larger part of the sky as it's coming towards them.
And who do you want to start this first scene? What main character?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't have to be me, huh?
No.
My guy. Okay. Uh okay. Oh, well, maybe let's start with Vance.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Uh,
yeah.
then I think it's a scene like we've arrived at the mining facility. Uh, we've gotten this call, uh, and I think it's a scene with uh, Vance and Mata and this new minor character Norin, if that's okay, Will. And I think
That
we've
was why I made him.
arrived,
He seems
and
like a.
I think that the problem we've been called, the signal has been sent to us like everybody wants our help, but once we arrive, it actually turns out that a lot of these miners and the corporate people don't believe that this thing is actually coming, or they don't think it's a real threat. But like Norin does. Um, and I think that we're kind of at that point where Vance and Mata are realizing that this is a bigger problem than we thought it was. And I think I'm saying, so Norin, how many people do you think are willing to evacuate, and how many are going to stay?
Well, when everyone was willing to evacuate, and then we heard that the Gleaming Sword was coming to save us, and so, half of them, powered down their reactors so that, and it's going to take hours before they can bring them back up again. And, they're saying, well, why do they tie to the colony if the colony's not going to protect them? They're saying that the Gleaming Sword is here to save us.
I turn very slowly to Mata.
You are here to save us, aren't you?
Yes, of course. But um, considering the nature of this threat, it might be wise to evacuate as many people as possible.
Oh, we don't have a large carrier or anything. It's all the independent ships. They only have a small crew compartment. They're pitted for mining. The corporation comes and takes our supplies back to the colony. We'd be forced to leave at least a third behind.
Well, listen, fire up as many transports as you can and override the safeties if you have to. It's that better 2/3 than none at all, just in case. But the Gleaming Sword will defend the colony. We'll use this tachyon beam and
I'm biting my.
we just need you all to clear out uh
You have
in case of fallout, you know.
the legends are true. I thought such things were lost in the pre-colony days. I thought they were banned.
Yes, well, we uh we have commandeered some ancient technology.
It's true what they say about you, Captain Matter. You and the Gleaming Sword. You'll save us all, I'm sure. I'll go tell them to get ready and to go.
Yes,
Hey,
yes, but
tell them,
We must be safe.
tell them all that there's a chance of some fallout, so everybody needs to get their suits with them 24/7 now. They need to get those suits. They need to have them ready. Okay?
Yes, some of the elders haven't been in a suit in years, of course, but I'm sure they're still patched. They still maintain the safety checks. Thank
yes.
you, thank you.
Safety first.
Captain, that tachyon beam weapon isn't ready. It's not going to be ready. We're not set.
Well, you better get it spooling up and figure out how to aim that thing. And the gleaming sword will we'll just have to run interference, won't we? Until everything gets spooled up.
I think there's a pause where Rancy's getting ready to like like say something, and she stops and she says, "Okay, we'll try it your way." And I think she grits her teeth and walks out. And I think that scene, uh, Mata, you get to call a scene.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I think okay. We've got a little bit of time before it arrives. Okay, so I think Mata does a little scouting mission to check it out, scan the squid and everything, and is coming back um, with the report. And so um, oh, okay. Tell you what, maybe it's Mata. Uh, I think Doe Smith is there because you're kind of you're the engineer, right, on
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
ship. So like you're there, Captain Rosen, and then can we get Abishan in there
Sure.
perhaps for like some advice on because I think Mata is not a soldier particularly, right? He didn't fight in the
He better
wars.
become one.
That's right. So I don't know, maybe Captain Rosen has you know uh made a phone call, so to speak. Um, okay, so and uh, where are we? I think we're in the like whatever little dome they've got on the side of this asteroid for shelter, right? So it's got air and heat, and like in the background we can see the 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 docks are just a flurry of activity of people hauling all their personal belongings onto ships and stuff. Um,
I think
so
maybe
yeah,
Rosen is flying one of the shuttles, like the ship, trying to maybe like badgering people to get ready, it's coming, and they're saying like, oh,
yeah,
but the King's sword has a tachyon beam, nothing can stand in the way of such a legendary weapon, we're all saved.
yeah. No, and you're like, no, don't fuel that. Don't spend all the fuel on one ship. Spread it out. You only need a few
No, I
a
don't
few
care.
liters each.
It's not been, I don't care if it's been here since settlement day. You got to leave it behind. We can't spare the mass. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So
Listen to
Mata
him.
comes.
Listen to
Mata
him.
comes.
He knows how to leave things behind.
God damn it, Abershan.
So
Make
Mata says,
yourself
"Look,
useful. Help those people over there.
look. We need to strategize here. And I could really use your advice here, Abishan. We've got and we like throw up a little hologram of the shape of the squid, right? And it's like we call it a squid, but I think it looks really weird and alien. It's got tentacles coming out of all different directions, and um, five different mouths and like all kinds of weird textures and stuff. So we're just seeing kind of a wireframe, but it's clearly not like shaped like an earth squid, right?
Right.
And here's what we're able to see. It doesn't seem uh, to it doesn't respond to any signals that we're sending out to it, and it's it doesn't even seem to pursue our our ship's drives or anything. What can we do? How can we lead it away?
It wouldn't follow those ships. You don't pursue breadcrumbs.
There is a thing.
You need something big, juicy.
No, you're thinking like you want to trap it here. If you're at all uncertain about that weapon, you need to get these people out. We know, and I think that this is the point at which Abishan kind of turns the comms and kind of looks directly at Rosen. I've watched Rosen's report 100 times. The thing can be scared. You need to scare it to drive it away, to give yourself the time, because you're not going to get the shot you want here.
Right.
We just want to save. We gotta scare it.
We've got to take the shot here, or else countless miners will be lost.
If we abandon he's right though. The old son of a bitch is right. If we abandon the evacuation, we use their ships as mines. If we set their self-destruct sequences and we scatter them across the area, the creature left as soon as I approached it with the overloaded reactor. We can create a blockade around the settlement.
Somebody's going to have to be in there to turn the reactors down, but
yeah. Now wait, Rosen, what exactly did you I mean, no offense intended. Your bravery is unquestionable, but
it's on the ground the word bravery.
You did end up losing the crew of your ship, did you not?
Exactly. I thought it was going after the ship. We sent the escape pods out. They made it to minimum safe distance, and I set the reactor to blow. But the second, when I started to pull closer to the beast, it just ran away.
Got taste for living somehow. We're unsure how.
But if we create a cordon around the settlement, then it won't be able to get past the reactors to get to. The mistake was that my crew, they thought they were heading to safety, but they were defenseless.
All right.
But
now
you would be using everybody here as bait.
Yeah, Smith, can you set the reactors to flash, and drive the beast away, but not explode. And the key here is we need them to not explode.
Well,
can it be done safely?
No.
Safety first, always.
No.
Damn.
But it can be done.
Mata, let me work with Doe. We'll get those reactors the way you want, but you've got to get everybody else organized.
All right. Thank you, team. Meeting adjourned. Dismissed.
Nice. Rosen.
Rosen. We get to call a scene. I think it's got to be the scene of this, this plan, right? As the beast comes down and the colonists, having abandoned their, haphazard evacuation plan. We've, even the ones who wanted to go, we've convinced to stay behind now. Drag them onto ships, we drag them off, and they're all the colony, the sub colony is hiding beneath the main dome, right? As the beast bears down, and there's this flotilla of ramshackle asteroid mining ships, and transports and cargo haulers, none of which are really classified to hold as many people as was required, but all of which have enough power to go into this self-destruct cascade that worked before, like surrounding the sub-colony. I feel like it's maybe slave to one of the ships, and the I feel like the gleaming sword is stationed, next to the colony, desperately working on the lance, trying to get it up to speed, because we all know that it's not going to work, but we have to try, God damn it, right? Because this might be our chance.
That's right.
And I think, I think it's. Ooh, well, I'm going to take Norin into this because I kind of like the idea of Norin maybe joining our ship, at our ragtag group of people at some point. I think Norin's, picking up the last people from the settlement, scooping them up and taking them back to away from the blast area, the radiation zones and stuff, in case we have to detonate these things in the end. But yeah, maybe
question. It has to be Rosen.
Does it have
your
to be
scene as well, right?
So for your main scene, there are only two things. One is the main scene should have your main character.
Yeah, that is Rosen.
And the scene shouldn't answer the challenge, it doesn't complete the challenge. We're kind of building up to that bit.
Yeah, and the scene is that Rosen's working on coordinating this minefield with remote piloting, and I think that's when Inspector Gorodinov as his inspection unit catches up with us, so Inspector Gorodinov was catching up with us, and I think Tissa Vance, who has been, assigned to use one of the sword shuttles to get some people to safe distance, and yeah, Gordonov is going to arrive in the middle of our plan, surrounded by minefields, and the first thing we know, as the great beast is coming down, and Joe Smith and Mata are working on the lance,
yeah.
I need it. We can do it. No, we can't, kind of energy. And Rosen's over the comms, okay, I'm initiating. I've slaved all of the units to the ship, to this control hub. I'm going to start the cascade sequence now. And there's the big we've all got that big overlay of the beast's form coming in next to the colony green spot, the lance in a golden icon, and then these dots of red around, showing the minefield basically. And that's when you hear Gorodinov over the comms saying, everyone, issuing a demand, his warrant comes through over the comms basically, and Rosen goes, God damn it.
Yeah.
So Gorodinov, I mean, if you want to.
Yeah. Well. We found you at last. This is guard ship. This is guard ship. Sorry. This is guard ship number 05, formerly corporation ship 05. We're here to extract a known criminal, Tisa Vance, that does not need to be any other complications for. Wait, what? They are what? For whatever are you doing here?
Now, the charge would be interfering with corporate mining operations, right?
Damn it, Gordonov. You're about to step into a minefield of ticking time bombs. Get out of here before you get yourself blown up and take all these innocent people with you. Vance is doing something about it. Vance is doing what you should be doing.
Oh, that's for sure. Vance is doing anything about anything. She roped all of you into her next scheme to steal this weapon and sell it to terrorist organization, probably, or enemy government. I've seen through all of this.
I think that's when Lucky Smith voice comes over the comms as she grabs an intercom on the bridge of the Gleaming Sword, and she goes, "Miss Tiss is out there on that shuttle right now, helping those people. What are you doing, you big?" And then she gets shook off, giving Tiss's location.
Inspector Gordonov, we have a catastrophic energy collapse that we have set up, which we need to play out now to stop this creature. When we are done with that, you are welcome to haul me in for whatever you want, but if you don't get your act together, all of us are about to die.
Wait, there's a creature coming here?
Yes, that's what the network is set up right now that Captain Rosen has put together. That we've got a very limited amount of time. I know you've been warping to get here, so you don't have the full situation, but you need to change your scanners to do a full sweep, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Why didn't you tell me? How? What? Well, I know that we killed the scanner guy because he didn't want to cooperate, but you're supposed to. I mean, yes, full throttle behind the asteroid. Yes. What do you expect us? Yeah. No. Yes. And then the communication just ends.
Oh, I mean, I'm happy to call that scene
Yeah,
there.
I like that.
Like, cowardly to do anything. Like, yeah.
I think we've just got Doe left to call the scene then, right? On this one? Okay.
Yeah.
So Doe, what scene do we get to get with Doe Smith here before we?
Well, we cannot solve this, so let's go on working on the like rigging just working on different ships and rigging their reactors with installing some remote controls and stuff one after another, and then jumping back to other ships. Yeah.
I have an idea if I could have an interaction with you and
Sure.
Abishan.
Yeah.
Like Abishan is gonna come in to where you're at, you're rigging the last of the things, and he'll say, "Smith,
Yes.
come here."
Abishan. Sure. Mr. Abashan.
My idiot son-in-law. I know what he's like, and I know what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and make it so that he's the one out there until the last second.
Well,
I need you to not let him do that. I need you to rig it to my ship, not his.
is that anyway? Seriously, just everybody here just wants to die. Is that what we are doing?
I don't want to die, but I know where Rosen's at right now.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
know
he's
the
not doing
stakes.
well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna let him die. But again, if it works well, it doesn't have to be networks to anyone. It can work
Then
if we just do everything worse.
let's hope it all goes according to plan then.
Well, yes.
And that feels like
Let's
scene?
hope for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I think that I will rig it so you die, and as you, if anything, and then we
Yeah.
like zoom out around, and it's just like a stupid thing that I'm doing is that I'm like holding cross fingers behind my back.
Okay. So we go now to row 20. And this is challenge 2. And if your main character is unhappy about the path Fellowship has taken, you hold 1 redstone. If your main character actually wants the quest to fail, hold 2 redstones. Otherwise, hold no red stones. So we all now will pick simultaneously 1, 2, 3. So we have a red stone there. And then and the challenge here was to protect the village. As a player, do you think the Fellowship did what was necessary to succeed at the challenge? Hold white if yes, red if no. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh, interesting split. So red, red, white, white. Okay. We'll do it with D10s. So 4 and 3. So again, red, white. Lose 1 character, but win the challenge. Who do we think we lose?
Oh man. Okay, I have we can like discuss kind of how we interpret and what happens, right? The
Yeah.
narrative. So I had an idea that maybe Mata, even though the lance is not ready, he like takes a shot, he like shoots it off. It totally goes wrong and like causes all kinds of problems. Um,
Oh, I love that.
so maybe that's kind of what leads to the death.
I love it. So who dies? I think the obvious ones are Rosen or Abishan.
I mean, I think that like what I was trying to imply is that I'm gonna rig it to myself.
Oh,
whole
so
time.
Doe. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
do you mean Doe or Godunov?
Which
No,
one?
no,
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
obviously.
like
Got
maybe,
it off safe. He's behind the asteroid.
oh,
It's the
but
biggest ship
maybe
we have.
Godunov
Like,
got heel turn.
it's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Okay.
so
Doe.
what does that look like, Doe? What do we see happen? We see Mata take that shot. Things are going crazy. The boards are lit up all in red.
Yeah.
What do we see happen to Doe?
The reactor, there's like a a gauge on the reactor, right? From like
Yeah.
0% to like overloaded, and it's like riding the line, right?
Yeah. It's one last reactor, but if this ship explodes, like, most of them go down, but if this bigger ship explodes, it's called cascade reaction. I'm just like seeing it. Oh no, everything will explode if this. And yeah, I have to just, I'm on that ship. I run into the reactor. There's no time to get any. It doesn't. I can stop it from the outside. There's no time to get any protective equipment or anything. So I just, override all the security protocols, open the reactor chamber, and like reach for the last emergency switch inside the reactor.
Yes, the handle.
Yeah. Then I just kind of crawl down, just not looking very well, and just like give my Rust radio transmission. Just
Oh man.
So this is
And
though,
we
Captain
see the
Meta.
squid tentacles, right? Like closing in on the ship.
And then Squid turns around, and Captain Meta.
Smith, get out of there! Safety first,
no, it's all,
dang it.
It's all fine. Nothing's going to explode. I fixed it all, as always. Tell my daughter I love her. Smith signing out. Yeah.
Nice.
No. Right. And then we
the
cut to like the silence of space, right? And there's this huge flash from the ship, and then the squid like retreats into the whatever other dimension.
Nice.
Oh yeah, a flash of like ethereal light, that tinges the reactor blast as the creature. Maybe though, like, like as it disappears, there's a tentacle that's just left floating in space.
Nice. Let's take 5. We're going to come back. Will, you're going to choose our last challenge. This will be the final challenge that's going to be for all the marbles.
Hey, before we go, Aaron, would you be willing to give me your side character as my new main?
Oh yeah, Lucky? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, technically, your character own. How does that work? Your parent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll take 5 and then come back and do that last challenge. So we've had 2 successful challenges. This is going to be the 3rd challenge, and at the end of this one, that final resolution is going to decide like whether we succeed or fail at this whole thing. So what do you think is this 3rd challenge that we face on this quest? We've gotten the weapon that we need to slay it. We protected a village. What is the next step for us in this?
Oh, this is the final challenge, right?
Yeah.
So this seems like it should be face the beast to me.
Yeah. So this is actually us get into to face against it, the kind of the lead up to that. How are you imagining, like, what makes it challenging, and like what's the frame up? Is this like the scenes of the night before the final battle, or is this the build up to getting the weapon ready, or what do you think it is that we're going to see here?
I think that it is. Well, I mean, the major problem we have with the beast is it can travel, like, that it's too fast. It moves in ways that we can't. So I think that the first scene is about identifying an area, like locating a place where that we can take that advantage away from it, right? Or some way in which we can do that.
Yeah. So this is about setting the stage for the kind of the battlefield to do the final face down.
Yeah.
I want to say, is this like find its lair kind of thing, or lure it into a trap?
I think the challenge is face the beast, but I think the first step in that
Oh, I see.
is luring it into a trap. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's kind of the stages. So, what main character do you want to start with?
I want to start with the good Captain Matter, because this is their mission. Protect the realm.
So, Captain Mata, in the wake of the death of Smith and your mistake, and it's what's the scene you want to have here?
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Who do I want to have it with? Hmm. Oh well. It's got to be Lucky Smith, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. Oh my God. Okay.
So where is this scene? What is the frame up for that?
Right. Oh, damn. Um, okay. The okay, here's what I want to happen. Um, I th we're on the Gleaming Sword, I think, and um, uh, Mata is going to uh talk to Lucky and is basically saying, "Okay, I'm taking you home." All right, but Lucky's going to talk him out of it.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
And maybe, I don't know, somebody else could be there too. If you wanna jump in. Uh,
I mean, I like a smaller scene.
Yeah, yeah. Nice one-on-one there.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I will walk into your room to your quarters or wherever you come at me and like salute. Lucky
Uh,
Smith reporting for duty, Captain.
no, no, no. Well, uh, I'm not. You haven't been inducted into the guard yet, so. Um, listen. Um,
That's all right.
I'm
I don't need
I'm
that.
no, I just have to say, I'm so sorry what happened to your mom. A
Yeah, that was.
that was uh her safety was my responsibility, and I failed. Um,
I mean, but
and
what?
you may never forgive me for that. But I swear that
Well,
I at least I
I'm
can
not
keep
forgiving
you
you.
safe. And to that end, um, don't
That's
worry,
no. I'm not
we're gonna head
forgiving you.
back. We're gonna head back to the colony and hold a proper
No,
funeral for your mom.
that's fine. I mean, she spent most of her life in space. I think she would, use a space funeral anyway. And also, I'm not forgiving you. There's no need to forgive you. There's nothing to forgive. You did what was necessary. It's all right. It happens. Just we just what I'm not going to forgive you is if you dump me somewhere and don't let me see this through. I need this, sir. I I mean, it killed my mother. You know,
Well,
she died because of that thing. I want to kill it like you do. Also, I don't know if you remember, but that weapon is still genetically locked.
listen, forget about the weapon. All right. This
Are you my
there's
secret
no
brother
sense. There's no
or
sense
uncle?
in getting
No,
another another Smith killed out there.
it's not even our real name. So, you can't use that. I'm the only one who can fire that weapon. So, with all respect, sir, I disagree.
Well, disagree you may, but I don't think that weapon is going to work anyway. Especially not without your mother's expertise to get it going.
No, no. That's what she died for. It has to work. Otherwise, it was all for nothing. You have to see this through, Captain. Don't. I mean, you. I watched you. You used to. Don't. Don't start being a coward now. We got
Yes.
there, and we can make it.
All right.
Trust
Yeah,
me.
and as you
I
say
believe
that,
in
right?
you.
His absolutely. Mata's face, at this, up to this point it was stern, and at this point it just he hangs his head and crumbles, and it's like, you're right.
Captain, I'm gonna hug you. You look like you need it.
God dang it.
Feels like scene.
Yeah.
Captain Rosen.
God dang it, Smith.
So do I choose the next scene?
Yeah, you do the next scene with your main character and other people.
Okay.
And I replaced Lucky with Major Julia Enkel, corporate acquisitions leader and the rival of Tissa Vance.
I don't think about you at all. Yeah. I think Tissa Vance again. I think Tissa Vance. I think the scene is we've come to a spot where we believe the creature will be coming through, and we've come up with a plan to rig, using the energy signature that was off that explosion, right? Like, because of the closeness of the ship, it was transmitting right to the end. Joe Smith gave us some information that may allow us to briefly interfere with this creature's phasing abilities, and so we have to rig this belt of asteroids with these repeaters to kind of interfere with them. So we're basically, we're setting up an ambush in a place we think that the beast is going to come, and the lance is ready, everything's ready. It's just we've got to get it cornered, And Rosen and Tissa are, out on the shuttle doing the work, basically.
I like the idea that Vance reaches over and turns the comms off and hits some buttons to go radio silent.
Mm. Can we be in our space suits, in fact? Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
We need to talk, Captain Rosen.
Helmet to helmet, like,
Yeah.
I think. Not sure I've got much to say to a career thief.
You have something to say to a fellow crew person on this mission?
Well, I'm not the captain.
That's kind of actually my point.
Oh, yeah?
Mata fucked that up. He was so desperate to do that and win that he fired off that weapon. And I'm not saying that Smith is dead because of that, but I am saying that that could have gone very, very badly. I, I followed Mauda for years. He and I have tangled for years, and I wanted his attention, his respect, but I'm worried about what he's going to do when the chips come down.
Well, even if I shared your worry, Vance, telling me that you're a spurned schoolgirl with a crush isn't exactly doing much for my confidence.
Captain Rosen, you know everything about me. Lying to you doesn't make any difference. I'm telling you like it is. I went in and I got that weapon out.
Yeah.
And I think I've earned a measure of your trust.
Then it's a funny thing to say when you're talking about betraying the trust of somebody else.
I just telling you, Captain Rosen, the only other person here who I trust to make decisions on this ship, that I am concerned about Captain Mata.
Well,
What you decide to do with that, I'm going to have to trust you. But I'm scared. I'm terrified. I I'm terrified. I'm terrified for things I wasn't terrified for before. I'm terrified for that little girl who lost her mother, who I couldn't have given a shit about weeks ago. But being here with this crew, things have changed.
well, you should be terrified, Go. You should be. I'm happy to leave it there.
Oh yeah, no, I like that. I like that. No reassurance, no comfort. Absolute. I love it. That's great. Uh Lucky Smith.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that, as I'm now the one controlling that weapon, I think that I'm got sitting like in a simulator, some sorts, to like trying to like perfect my aim and stuff, and like failing a lot. And who's here with me, helping me train? Oh, Ebeshan is actually a veteran of war, so he makes sense to be there.
Do it again. Run it again.
Anyone else wants to be part of this?
Who wants to be the voice that stops Abishan from just running this girl into the ground?
Rosen, I guess. I don't mind being Rosen and having a conflict with Abishan over this.
Yes. If you run it like that, we're all going to die. Do it again.
Just it's moving so fast and unpredictably. If just think it's gonna go there and it goes there, and
that sounds like excuses.
And that's when Rosen's hand grabs hold of Abishan and hauls him back on his prosthetic leg, pushing him against the side of the gantry. And he waves a finger in Abishan's face and he says, "She told me all about you, Abishan, and I'm damned if I'll see you put that pressure on another human being again. Just a girl. She's doing her best."
Well, I tried with my daughter, and clearly she didn't do her best because she picked you.
He grabs him and like really tips him, like, yeah. The only reason I haven't killed you already is because of her. You get that, right? Because she said that you were too pitiful to kill.
Then you do what you can with her, and
Yeah,
like points at Lucky, because we're all gonna die if she's not ready.
she'll be ready. Look, she knows what it's. She knows she's already given up just as much as either you or me. Uh, and I'm gonna let you go,
Okay.
like pull you back up and let you go.
Yeah. The sound of the hydraulics as he hobbles out of the room.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I take off my headphones and like turn around. Hey, high score. Have you seen it? I got the highest score ever. I hit it twice.
Good work, kid. Now, come on, once again from the top. You can do this.
Yeah. Hey, Captain Rosen. I was just wanted to ask. You knew my mom, like a long time ago, didn't you?
Yeah, she worked with my wife.
Yeah.
Abishan's kid, if you can believe that. Don't worry, she was much nicer.
So, like, it's kind of stupid, but how was she, before she was in hiding and stuff?
Clever, kind. Made a mean Bloody Mary.
Ah,
Tell you what, we pull this off, I'll make you one.
really?
You probably won't like it,
Was
but
that
hey,
made out of?
oh, well, tomato juice, vegetables, all the things that are good for a growing girl. Anyway, come on. What about that over there? You reckon you can hit that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I put back my headphones and again start to hit a teleporting space squid in space.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think that for Tiss's scene, I think it is her going to see Mata in his quarters.
Okay.
And I think we see her tuck away a knife, a vibro knife in her back pocket before she goes in, trying to decide, but does like hit the door. Captain Mata?
Ah, yes, Vance. So are the interference transmitters in place? You got the jammers?
They are. Here's the specs on everything.
All right. Uh,
Permission to speak freely.
yeah. Go ahead.
I think she'll step into your quarters and make sure that the door shuts behind her.
Yeah. Can I offer you a drink or?
No, you haven't said anything to any of us about what happened back there.
Well,
About firing the weapon.
what is there to say? It
That's my question to you.
it was a desperate shot, and clearly the weapon is unreliable.
The weapon is unreliable. You don't think perhaps it's you that is unreliable?
What? How am I supposed to take that?
I was supposed to take that is the plan was not to fire the weapon. The plan was to save the colony. And you risked everyone's lives on that, on your desperate need to make up for fucking over Captain Rosen and leaving his crew to die.
You really don't is that what you really think? Look, if that weapon had fired as I intended, then Doe Smith would still be alive, and that squid would be dead already. Are you honestly saying you wouldn't have made the same decision? I don't care about Rosen. I don't care about uh you know the uh the counselor. Uh all that matters is that we save as many lives as we can. And
Then you
my
shouldn't
only
have
failure,
taken that shot. You
it was a shot at saving lives. God dang it. Dang it, Vance. Get out of my quarters.
and I think there is a minute when she reaches back and she touches that blade and I I think that she is like milliseconds away from from stabbing you. Um, and I would like to imagine that it is sort of the beep comes
Yeah.
over the comms
Oh.
of Lucky
Oh, I'm
Smith
not.
going,
Yeah.
oh,
It,
going,
it,
hey, I hit the targets.
Mata just it turns his back to Vance, right? And is like has his you know, his hand over his head,
Yeah.
over his forehead, and but he reaches out to the wall comms and says, "Great job, Lucky. Great job. We're gonna get this thing."
And I leave. I put the blade back in my pocket and I go. All right. This is the last set of stones for the challenge. Uh, the first thing is the same thing as before. Pretty much. Uh, this is on row 25. If your main character is unhappy about the path your fellowship has taken, hold one red stone. If your main character actually wants the quest to fail, hold two. Otherwise, hold none. So everybody, uh, one, two, three. Ooh, one red.
Shouldn't be
And
surprised to.
And then this is okay. As a player, do you think the fellowship succeeded at the challenge? Hold white if yes, red if no. This will decide the entire quest, not just this challenge. So everybody uh, pick one, two, three. Ooh, so red, white, white, white. All right. And the results are, so first number is a 3. So white. Second number is a 4. So white, white. So we will succeed at the challenge. I think we should all give a little bit of a montage of what we see there. We'll hold the like get the lessons to kind of let out on this challenge. So uh 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 why don't we have, let me get the thing up on that. Uh, so, uh, Lucky, what do we see of you in this like final bit here, this
Yeah.
final like challenge moment?
Oh, alright. Okay, we start with me with the one firing the weapon, but yeah, let's go to firing the weapon. So I well, let's start with I fire the weapon and it goes just few degrees of the beast, and then I close my eyes, try to refocus myself.
Nice, nice. So we've got that first missed shot. We're
Yeah.
recharging the weapon. I think that
Yeah.
is Tissa like at a board, trying to reroute the power, trying to get us that second shot. She's like circuits are popping on one of the secondary ships. She's saying, just hang on, Lucky. We're gonna get you a second shot. And then what else do we see, Mata?
Oh man. So Mata is out there uh once again piloting the gleaming sword um right in front of the beast, right? And kind of like keeping its attention, keeping it uh locked in and and uh I think he like we've got the interference, right? So it can't slip away, but he
Right.
like he flashes the thrusters over here and sort of drives it this way. And as it's trying to escape, he like zips around and uh dives, and spins the thrusters in its face again, right? And just
Nice.
sort of keeping it contained in the zone.
And Will, what's the last bit we're going to see here in this challenge confrontation? Like what is the final bit we're going to see before we go to epilogues?
I think it's the creature gets wounded by the lance, like the fire, and its tentacles like thrash, and it like hooks a big chunk of space debris at the ship, and it crashes into it. There's hull breaches and there's red lights going off everywhere, and you've got Abashan, um, like helping a crew member like through an airlock as the whistling air comes out of it, and he's like scrambling with a suit, and he's not ready to get it on, and that's when you see like the airlock door poof, open again, and Captain Rosen comes through in a spacesuit and grabs hold of him and pulls him back inside.
Nice. And that second shot from Lucky lands, I imagine, and it is gone. Um, let's do epilogues. Um, Lucky, what is the epilogue for you in the short term, in the long term?
Oh yeah, I think yeah, my epilogue is uh oh yeah yeah, I think as we are like going out out of ways, I ran to Tisa like, hey, so I mean it's kind of stupid, so I just wanted to ask you, aren't you like looking for someone to, I don't know, help you with stuff, carry your luggage or something?
Uh, and I
Kind of
think,
looking
yeah,
for a job, I
yeah.
guess.
I think that just to kind of bleed into Tissa's epilogue, she says, "Yes, do you have all your stuff with you? Because we need to go now."
Yeah, I have everything.
And I think it's Tissa dragging Lucky down to a prepared
Yeah,
one of the ships and
yeah.
getting out
Yeah,
of Dodge.
yeah, I just ran behind the corner, grab my bag since I didn't want to, look desperate, but to come with the bag. But yeah,
And
You
Are you like are you did you grab like a piece of like the gullet of the squid or whatever contains the riches?
I
well, I was wondering, did you take the lance?
yeah. I mean, we have the lands.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I think we get the lance and we get out of there
Yeah,
while the rest of the ship is still recharging. I think part of rerouting all that power to the weapons was making it so that I can't be pursued, and me and Lucky getting out of there. Um,
Okay.
Mata, what is your epilogue?
All right. Uh, so in the short term, I think Gorodonov and his goons, like their ships, show up to the scene and and um start whatever, taking samples from the squid, right?
Yeah.
They like descend on it. Um, and but Mata says, your, the corporate governance has clashed too long with civil governance, and I hereby claim this as space salvage for the people of the colony. And and a little bit longer term, I think he gets elected as a counselor, and it basically brings Gorodonov and the corporation, like executives, into into court, right? Before the rest of the council.
I mean, yeah, someone should bring Gordon to the court, given that he took over the ship stole corporate ship for his own like crazy
Exactly.
pursuit of Tessa. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like
So
it.
he's brought in, in handcuffs
Yeah.
to testify before this the council.
Nice. And Captain Rosen, what is your epilogue?
My Rosen's epilogue is, a new cargo hauler called the Doe is, not cargo hauler, like a cargo freighter, like a big ship, similar to what I flew before, departing on a voyage, and Rosen, looking out among the splinters of the asteroid belt around us as the ship goes through, and resting a hand on the desk and saying, to the first mate, anything on the scanners, and Abishan turning around and saying, no, sir, all clear. And as he says, all clear, there's a little boop, 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 bigger, 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 and then two of them.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So that's Follow. It's very interesting to me. Would you like to go around stars, impressions, thoughts from
Yep.
folks? Tad?
Yeah, it was great. Uh, yeah, I had fun. I have to admit, my first character, I was kind of had like two clashing ideas in the head, so I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't really connect two stuff. So it's just that was part of the reason I decided to kill her. To just yeah. Sometimes you create something very fast and it doesn't work.
No, that seems
But
fair.
yeah, I liked everyone's characters and their own bullshit they had. uh, I really loved the scene between Tessa and Mata in the end. That was real fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Aaron?
I love the I think I wonder if it talks about this in the book. I haven't read it, but the it seems to ask a lot about dissent. It's almost like because of in the challenges, right? It's like, is your character unhappy with it? And then if two reds come out, then a character betrays or is betrayed by the Fellowship. So that's an interesting tension. So I really liked how, even though it didn't come up mechanically too much, but the way Vance absolutely lost faith with
Right.
Mata, and that was a cool tension to explore, like the differences within the Fellowship,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak.
Will?
Yeah, I like the simpleness of it. I think it works really well. It's an interesting low system. I like the minor character and major characters. Remember
Yeah.
from Star Trek. It's always fun. I like uh, the way of framing scenes, and I think by the end of it, we got a better grip on framing scenes that were about the challenge, but not inherently the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I think that's really tricky. It's very clearly like that's part of the secret sauce here is figuring out how to do that.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Wish I think the dragon's a good one to focus and be simple on, but I think it does lead you to being mostly in coherence with each other. It doesn't provide much spark for the quest,
Mhm.
like it's I can't. You'd have to make a very antagonistic character from the get-go to want to ever not kill the dragon, right? Because
Right.
dragon's a dragon. That's the whole point of the dragon is to kill you all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the other ones might open that up a bit more in terms of
Mhm.
like you can start off somewhere and then
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that choice definitely sets kind of the stakes of how
Yeah.
much you're going to have that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
tension in there
Yeah.
right from the start.
Yeah.
You'd
I
have
can
to
imagine having more tension about how you kill the dragon, but we didn't really get to it. But like, there's a potential for that, I think. Sorry.
Mhm. Yeah, but you have to build that in. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I don't think you'd ever that would still really you'd put more info. You're not happy with how it's gone, but I
Yeah.
don't think it would drive you towards they don't want the quest to succeed. Whereas I think maybe if I was to play this again, I'd be coming at it with the approach of what can I do to make somebody who's got that space to
Yeah.
want us to fail or to succeed. Perhaps like Councillor Saffron or whatever, right, would have been a major. It would have been my major character and would have had like some sort of the creature is an elder god or what
Right.
would have been
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Particularly if the game says at the outset when you start, all of your characters want the quest to succeed, and so giving them the space and the arc to make that change, to have that character change, requires that there's that space in the setup and a character that could make that shift there.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I've released Saffron in exactly one scene, and I was like, yeah, but it made perfect sense for it to be stuck behind. And I guess the other thing is that other than Gordonov catching up, um, the the cult didn't seem, and like it would have been fun to have that as a more foregrounded threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did think about like, how can we bring that in for the asteroid, right? It's like who's like interfering,
That's
which you kind of
interesting. Yeah.
hinted at,
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, I mean, you can't hit every
No,
point
it's
every time, but
quite concise, really, isn't it? Because there's three challenges and three scenes effectively within each challenge. And so if you don't explore a thing within that tight framework, then
Yeah.
it's not
Mhm.
Yeah.
dream.
So it's 12 challenges. And probably when you get to that last set of four, there's probably a little bit more like we are probably a little more directed about what kinds of things we can do. And that's
yeah,
really interesting. One thing that's interesting to me is he says in the book that this is a game that could take 2 to 3 hours. I think two is optimistic. I think that this we could have easily like given this a little more room to breathe and do it in a 4 hour slot and not necessarily go for the full 4 hours, but
yeah,
have like another, 20, 30 minutes to play with.
yeah.
Um,
I think with fewer people, you al- also do fewer scenes, right? So
yeah.
maybe that's like,
I,
like if you're
I
only
also think that
two or three
having
players.
Ben Robbins, if you read all the Ben Robbins books, when he tells you like the minimum amount of time it takes to play a game, I suspect that Ben Robbins plays too often with people who play his games. So,
That's probably true. But I
Yeah,
like
it depends.
this.
It always
Yeah.
depends how much you want to dig in and,
Yeah.
role play out everything, but it's fun.
I like this. It does seem like it can work as an adjunct to like play out things that are happening in the background of a campaign, stuff that's going on elsewhere. That I can see how you could use this to play those things out, which is always the kind of toolkits that I like having, is things to tell secondary stories. Thank you everybody for coming and playing with me. I appreciate you doing this. I'm going to stop the recording.